Okay, so I need to tell you about the craziest 48 hours of my entire life. And I'm not being dramatic. I know everyone says that, but this actually changed everything. My name's Sarah. I'm 32, and up until last Tuesday, I thought I had my life figured out. Decent job as a school counselor, nice apartment in Seattle, and a husband who, well, I thought loved me. Spoiler alert, he didn't. But before I get into the part where the bank literally called the FBI, yeah, you heard that right, I need to back up because none of this makes sense without understanding how royally screwed my life became in the span of one afternoon. So last Tuesday, I come home from work around 4 p.m., right? I'm exhausted because it's testing season and the kids are stressed, which means I'm stressed. All I want is to change into sweats, order Thai food, and watch something mindless on Netflix. I unlock the door, and immediately something feels off. You know that feeling? Like the air's different? I walk in, and there's Marcus, my husband, standing in the living room with his arms crossed. And he's got this look on his face. Not angry exactly, more like resolved. Like he'd made a decision and was just waiting to execute it. Marcus? I drop my bag. What's wrong? You okay? He doesn't say anything at first, just stares at me. Then, I need you to leave. I actually laughed, like I genuinely thought he was joking. What? I need you to pack your stuff and leave, tonight. The way my stomach dropped, I can't even describe it. It was like the floor disappeared. Marcus, what are you talking about? Is this a joke? Because it's not funny. I'm serious, Sarah. His voice was so cold, so done. This isn't working. It hasn't been working. I want a divorce, and I need space, so you need to go. I just stood there, literally frozen, because we'd been married for 7 years. 7! And sure, things hadn't been perfect lately, but we weren't fighting. I didn't see this coming, not even a little bit. Marcus, can we talk about this? What's going on? Did something happen? Nothing happened. I don't love you anymore, Sarah. I haven't for a while. You know what's wild? The way he said it. So matter of fact, like he was telling me he didn't like mushrooms anymore. No emotion, nothing. You don't love me. I repeated it, trying to make it make sense in my brain. Since when? Does it matter? He grabbed his jacket. I'm going to stay at Chris's place tonight. I need you gone by the time I come back tomorrow. Take what you need. We'll figure out the rest later. Tomorrow? Marcus, that's insane. Where am I supposed to go? He shrugged. Shrugged. That's not really my problem anymore. And then he left, just walked out. I stood in that living room for I don't know how long, just staring at the door, waiting for him to come back and say, kidding, or let's talk about this like adults, or literally anything that made this make sense. But he didn't come back. So here's the thing about your life imploding. Your brain doesn't process it right away. It's like there's a delay. I remember walking around the apartment, picking things up, putting them down. I opened the fridge, closed it. I sat on the couch, stood up, sat back down. I tried calling my best friend, Jessica, voicemail. I tried my mom, she's in Florida with her new husband, and she didn't pick up either. And then I realized I'm alone, completely alone. No family nearby, no one to call, and my husband just kicked me out of my own home with less than 24 hours notice. I started packing. What else was I gonna do? Clothes, toiletries, my laptop, some books. I moved like a robot, just going through the motions. And the whole time, my brain's going, this isn't real. This can't be real. He'll change his mind. He'll come back. But deep down, I knew he wouldn't. Around midnight, I'm sitting on the bedroom floor surrounded by suitcases, and I'm finally crying. Not pretty crying, like ugly, snotty, can't breathe sobbing, the kind where you're hyperventilating and you can't stop. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Hotels are expensive. I could maybe afford a week at a cheap motel, but then what? Our lease isn't up for 6 months. My name's on it, but so is his, and clearly he's decided he gets to stay. I can't afford a security deposit on a new place right now. We just dropped $3,000 on a second honeymoon to Mexico that clearly meant nothing to him. I was spiraling, full-on panic attack spiraling. That's when I remembered the envelope. When my dad died 3 years ago, cancer, it was awful. He left me this small wooden box. Nothing fancy, just some old photos, his wedding ring, a couple letters, and at the bottom was an envelope with my name on it in his handwriting. Inside was a credit card, not a gift card, an actual bank card, and a note that said, "Sarah Bear, if you're reading this, I'm gone. This card is for emergencies, only emergencies. I've always kept it separate, always kept some money saved just in case. Your mother doesn't know about it. Use it if you need it, but only if you really need it. Love you forever, Dad." At the time, I'd stuck it in my purse and never thought about it again. Figured it was probably expired or had like $50 on it or something. But now, I dug through my purse, past the grocery receipts and old lip balms, and found it. The card was still there, faded, a little bent, but there. Bank of America. My dad's name embossed on it. Thomas J. Richardson. I turned it over in my hands. It felt wrong somehow, like I was violating something sacred, but what choice did I have? Emergencies only, Dad's note had said. Well, this definitely qualified. By 6 a.m., I'm checked into a Holiday Inn off I-5. It's not fancy, smells like old carpet and those industrial cleaning products, but it's clean and it's cheap, and I can pay for a few nights while I figure this out. I hadn't slept at all, just laid there staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation Marcus and I had over the past few months, looking for signs, clues. How did I miss this? Around 9 a.m., I decided I needed to know how much was on Dad's card, because if it was empty or close to it, I needed to start making some serious phone calls about borrowing money. I pulled out my laptop and logged into the Bank of America website. Took me a minute to figure out the account details. Dad had written the account number on the back of the note, thank God. Finally, the page loaded. Available balance, $847,293.18. I blinked, refreshed the page. $847,293.18. My hands started shaking. $847,000. What the hell? I literally said it out loud. What the hell? The lady in the room next door pounded on the wall. I didn't care. My dad was a truck driver. A truck driver. He drove long-haul routes for 30 years, came home tired, watched football on Sundays. We weren't poor, but we weren't rich. We were solid middle class, generic cereal and family vacations to national parks middle class. Where did he get almost $1 million? I stared at that number until it stopped looking like a number and just looked like a random collection of digits. My brain couldn't compute it. Was it a mistake? Had to be a mistake, some kind of computer glitch, or identity theft, or... My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Is this Sarah Mitchell? A woman's voice, professional, serious. Yes? Well, Sarah Richardson Mitchell. Ms. Richardson Mitchell, this is Patricia Valdez calling from Bank of America's Fraud Prevention Department. We've detected unusual activity on an account associated with your Social Security number. My stomach dropped. Oh God, I can explain. Ma'am, I need you to stop talking and listen very carefully. Do not use that card. Do not access that account. Do not discuss this with anyone. Come to our main Seattle branch at 1301 Fifth Avenue. Ask for me specifically, Patricia Valdez. Can you do that? I was full-on freaking out now. Am I in trouble? Did I do something illegal? Just come to the branch, Ms. Richardson Mitchell, as soon as possible. She hung up. I got dressed so fast I put my shirt on backward and had to fix it in the car. Drove to downtown Seattle doing 15 over the speed limit the whole way, convinced I was about to be arrested for some kind of fraud I didn't even understand. The Bank of America building was huge, all glass and steel, very corporate. I walked in feeling like I was walking to my own execution. "I'm here to see Patricia Valdez," I told the receptionist, and my voice cracked. "I called me about an account?" The receptionist's expression changed immediately, like her whole demeanor shifted. "Just one moment." She picked up the phone, whispered something, and within 30 seconds, two people appeared. A woman in a navy suit, Patricia, I assumed, and a guy in a dark gray suit who looked like he could be FBI. "Ms. Richardson Mitchell," Patricia extended her hand. Her grip was firm, all business. "Please come with us." They led me through the bank, past all the regular customers doing normal bank things, to a hallway I didn't know existed. We went through a door that required a key card, down another hallway, and into a small conference room. The door clicked shut behind us. "Am I under arrest?" I blurted out. "No," Patricia said. "You're not under arrest, but we do need to ask you some questions." The guy in the gray suit finally spoke. "Ms. Richardson Mitchell, I'm Agent David Chen with the FBI. Before we begin, I need to verify your identity." FBI. Oh my God, this was really happening. I showed them my license, my passport, I had grabbed it in the panic packing, and answered about 1,000 security questions. My dad's full name, my mother's maiden name, where I was born, where my dad worked. Finally, Agent Chen nodded at Patricia. She opened a folder on the table and pulled out several documents. "Ms. Richardson Mitchell, can I call you Sarah?" "Sure, yeah, please." "Sarah, when did your father give you access to this account?" 3 years ago, when he died. He left me a card and a note in a box with some of his things." "And you never accessed it before yesterday?" "No. I honestly thought it was like, I don't know, a savings account with a little emergency money, a few $100 maybe. I had no idea there was. I couldn't even say the number out loud." Patricia and Agent Chen exchanged a look. "Sarah," Patricia said carefully, "your father didn't accumulate that money through his work as a truck driver." My heart was pounding. "Then where did it come from?" Agent Chen leaned forward. "What do you know about your father's life before you were born?" "Before I was born?" I frowned. "I mean, not much. He didn't really talk about it. He grew up in Philadelphia, moved to Seattle in his 20s, met my mom, had me. That's about it." "Did he ever mention living in Chicago?" "Chicago? No. Why?" Patricia pulled out a photograph, old, from the 90s based on the quality, and there was my dad, younger, maybe late 20s, standing outside a building with a sign that read Chen and Richardson Law Firm. I stared at it. "What is this?" "Your father was a lawyer, Sarah, a very successful defense attorney in Chicago for almost 15 years. The room started spinning. "No," I said. "No, that's not right. My dad was a truck driver. He drove trucks for 30 years. He did," Agent Chen interrupted. "After he left Chicago, after he left his law practice." "Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense." Patricia slid another document across the table. "Because 28 years ago, your father testified against the Moretti crime family in Chicago. He was their lawyer, Sarah. And when he realized what they were doing, the money laundering, the extortion, the violence, he went to the FBI. He wore a wire, he testified. He helped put 12 people in prison, including Vincent Moretti, the head of the family." I couldn't breathe, literally could not get air into my lungs. "He entered witness protection in 1996. Thomas Richardson wasn't his real name. His real name was Thomas James Bellamy. He was relocated to Seattle, given a new identity, and that money in that account, that's what was left of his law practice after he liquidated everything. The government helped him set it up under a protected account as part of his WITSEC agreement." I don't know how long I sat there. Time got weird. My dad who taught me to ride a bike, who drove me to soccer practice, who made terrible jokes and fell asleep during movies. He was a mob lawyer. "I don't understand," I finally whispered. "Why didn't he ever tell me?"
Because telling you would have put you at risk, Patricia said gently. The Moretti family never forgot about your father. To this day, there are still active investigations into their operations. Your father lived quietly, carefully, for almost 3 decades to keep you and your mom safe. Does my mom know? Agent Chen hesitated. Yes, she knew from the beginning. It was part of the agreement. Spouses were told, but children weren't. Not until they were adults, and only in specific circumstances. So she's known my whole life that that we were in witness protection, and she never said anything? She was protecting you. I wanted to scream, to cry, to throw something, but I was so numb I couldn't move. Why are you telling me this now? I asked. Because you accessed the account. The moment you logged in, it triggered a federal alert. That account has been monitored for 28 years. We had to make sure it was really you and not someone who'd stolen your identity or was trying to access your father's money. And the balance? All that money? It's yours. Your father left specific instructions in his will. Once he died and you accessed the account, the funds would transfer fully to you. But you needed to be verified first. You needed to know the truth. They let me go after another hour of questions and paperwork. I walked out of that bank in a complete daze, got in my car, sat there. My dad was a mob lawyer who testified against the Chicago Mafia and spent 30 years in hiding. My life was a lie, and I had almost $1 million. The thought that came next made me sick. I need to call Mom. I dialed her number with shaking hands. She answered on the second ring. Sarah, honey, I'm so sorry I missed your call yesterday. We were on a dinner cruise and I left my phone in the room. What's going on? Mom, my voice came out flat. I need you to tell me the truth about Dad. Silence. Mom, what did you do? Her voice changed completely, from cheerful to terrified in a half second. I used Dad's card, the one from the box. Oh no. Oh, Sarah, no. The FBI called me, Mom. They told me everything about Chicago, about the Morettis, about witness protection. Is it true? I heard her crying on the other end. Yes, God, yes, it's true. How could you not tell me? Because it would have destroyed you. You were so young, and then you were in school, and then you were building your life, and your father and I just wanted you to have a normal life. We wanted you to be safe. Safe? Safe? Mom, I just found out my entire childhood was a lie. It wasn't a lie, she sobbed. Your father loved you more than anything in the world. Everything he did, leaving Chicago, changing his name, driving trucks instead of practicing law, he did it for us, for you. I was crying now too. I don't even know who he was. Yes, you do, baby. The man who raised you, who loved you, who was there for every birthday and every graduation, that was your father. That was the real him. The rest was just circumstances. We cried together on the phone for a while. Eventually, she calmed down enough to tell me more about how they met after he'd already been relocated, how she fell in love with him not knowing his real past, and how terrified she was when he finally told her the truth 6 months into dating, how they decided together to build a simple, quiet life away from everything he'd left behind. He saved that money for you. He always told me, if something happens to me, Sarah gets everything. She gets to choose the life she wants, not the life we had to live. Mom, Marcus kicked me out. Pause. What? Last night, out of nowhere, he told me he wants a divorce and I had to leave. That son of a... She stopped herself. Are you okay? Where are you? I'm at a hotel. I'm fine. I mean, I'm not fine, but I'm safe. Do you need me to come up there? No, I need to think.
I spent the rest of the day driving around Seattle, just driving, thinking. My husband didn't love me. My dad had been someone completely different than I thought. I had almost $1 million. What the hell was I supposed to do with any of this? Around 6 p.m., I parked near Alki Beach and watched the sunset. The sky was doing that thing where it turns pink and orange and purple all at once, and the water looked like liquid gold. And I started laughing. Not happy laughing, crazy person laughing, because the absurdity of it all just hit me at once. My phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. "Are you out? I'm heading back to the apartment." I stared at that text for a long time. Then I called Jessica. She picked up immediately. "Sarah, oh my God, I'm so sorry I missed your call last night. My phone died and Jess, I need to tell you something insane." "Okay." "Marcus kicked me out yesterday." "He what?" "And then I found out my dad was a mob lawyer in witness protection." "What?" "And I have $800,000. Silence. "Jess? I'm coming over. Where are you?" Jessica showed up at my hotel 40 minutes later with wine, chocolate, and a fierce expression. We sat on the hotel bed and I told her everything, the whole story. She listened, eyes getting wider and wider. When I finished, she was quiet for a minute. Then, "Marcus is an idiot." "Yeah." "No, I mean he's a spectacular idiot. Because Sarah, I know why he did it." My stomach clenched. "What?" She looked uncomfortable. "About 6 months ago, Marcus came to me, asked me not to tell you. He wanted to plan this big surprise for your anniversary, a vow renewal ceremony. He had this whole thing planned, fancy venue, all your friends and family, the works." I felt like I'd been punched. "What?" "He was so excited, Sarah. He was working extra hours to save up for it. He had me helping him pick out a venue and everything. He wanted it to be perfect." "Then why did he—" "Because 3 months ago, he told me it was off, said he couldn't afford it anymore, something about unexpected expenses and needing to cancel everything. He seemed really defeated, but he made me promise not to say anything because he didn't want you to know he'd failed at surprising you." "Jessica, that doesn't explain why he kicked me out." "I know, but Sarah, I think something else happened, something he's not telling anyone." She pulled out her phone and pulled up Facebook. "This posted this morning." It was a photo. Marcus and a woman I didn't recognize. They were standing in front of what looked like a courthouse, both dressed nicely. The caption read, "Finally made it official. Thanks for being there, bro." Tagged was Chris, Marcus's best friend. "Wait," I said slowly. "Is that—" "Chris got married yesterday, and Marcus was the witness." So I did some digging. The bride, her name is Amanda Torres. She's a lawyer. And Sarah, she works for the DOJ in Chicago. Everything clicked into place. I called Agent Chen. He answered on the first ring. "Ms. Richardson Mitchell? Did anyone from the DOJ contact Marcus about my dad?" Pause. "Why do you ask?" "Because my husband kicked me out the day before I accessed that account, and I just found out he was at a wedding yesterday for someone who works for the DOJ in Chicago. That's not a coincidence." Agent Chen swore under his breath. "Stay where you are, I'm coming to you." He showed up 30 minutes later, and the story he told me made everything make horrible, perfect sense. 4 months ago, there was a breakthrough in the Moretti case. The last remaining member of the family, Vincent Moretti's grandson, Anthony, had been arrested in Chicago, and he was talking, making deals, giving up names, including my father's real identity. The DOJ had been monitoring anyone connected to Thomas Bellamy, just in case. That included me, and by extension, Marcus. 3 months ago, we interviewed your husband, standard procedure. We needed to make sure he knew not to discuss your father's past with anyone. We explained the situation, the risks, everything. And he panicked. He thought being connected to your family put him at risk. He became paranoid, started making unusual financial decisions. We had someone keeping tabs on him to make sure he wasn't compromised. Was he? My voice was barely a whisper. No, but he wanted out. He wanted to distance himself from you, from the situation. So he kicked me out, I finished. He threw away 7 years of marriage because he was scared. I'm sorry, Sarah. I wasn't, not anymore. I was angry. So Chris's new wife, Amanda, is she involved? She's one of our prosecutors. She was at the wedding coincidentally. She and Chris went to law school together. But she doesn't know anything about your father's case. That's classified above her clearance level. Does Marcus know about the money? No, that was never disclosed to him. Good. That was good.
I went back to the apartment the next morning. Marcus's car was in the parking lot. He was home. I used my key, he hadn't changed the locks yet, and walked in. He was sitting on the couch, coffee in hand, watching TV like nothing had happened. "Sarah!" He stood up looking surprised. "I thought you'd be what? Gone? Broken? Begging you to take me back?" He had the decency to look uncomfortable. "I just need space to..." "Space?" I laughed, hard and bitter. "Marcus, I know." His face went pale. "Know what?" "About the DOJ, about you being interviewed, about you panicking and deciding to bail on our marriage because you were scared of something that had nothing to do with you." "Sarah, it's not that simple." "Yes, it is. You were scared, so instead of talking to me, your wife, you decided to blow up our entire life. 7 years, Marcus. 7 years, and you couldn't even be honest with me?" "Your dad was in the mob," he shouted. "Do you understand what that means? The kind of people who might come looking for..." "My dad testified against the mob 30 years ago. He spent his entire life protecting us, and the only threat here was your own cowardice." He just stared at me. "I want you out," I said calmly. "You have 48 hours to find a new place. I'm staying here." "You can't afford this place on your own." I smiled. Funny thing about that. Turns out, I can. My dad left me more than enough to cover rent until the lease is up, and then I'm moving somewhere better. "He left you... what?" "None of your business anymore. You gave up the right to know anything about my life when you kicked me out." I walked to the bedroom and started grabbing his stuff, throwing it into trash bags. He followed me, trying to protest, but I was done listening. "Sarah, please, can we just talk about this?" "No." "I made a mistake. I was scared and I made a mistake. I still love you." I stopped and looked at him, really looked at him. And I realized I didn't love him anymore either. Maybe I had, once, but the man who could abandon me that easily? I deserved better. "You don't love me, Marcus. You love the idea of security. You love having someone around who makes you feel safe and comfortable. But the second things got complicated, the second you had to actually be brave or stand by me, you ran. So no, we're done." "Sarah, get out."
So that's the story, or at least the beginning of it. Marcus moved out that week, filed for divorce a month later. I didn't fight it. Let him have what he wanted from the apartment. I didn't need any of it anymore. I took that money, my dad's money, his legacy, and I finally did something I'd always dreamed about, but never thought I could afford. I opened my own practice, a counseling center specifically for kids in crisis, free services for anyone who needs them. I named it the Bellamy Center, after my dad's real name. My mom flew up for the grand opening. We cried together looking at the sign. "He would be so proud of you," she said. I hope so. Jessica became my business partner. Turns out she's amazing at managing the administrative side of things, and she believed in the mission from day one. As for Marcus, I heard through mutual friends that he's dating someone new. Good for him, I guess. I don't think about him much anymore. Agent Chen calls every few months to check in. The Moretti case wrapped up. Anthony cut a deal, and the last of the family's operations got shut down. I'm officially no longer under any kind of watch or protection, just a regular person with an irregular past. But here's the thing I learned through all of this. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you cracks you open wide enough to see who you really are and who you really could be. Marcus kicking me out broke me. Finding out about my dad's past shattered everything I thought I knew about my family. But from all those broken pieces, I built something new, something better, something mine. My dad spent 30 years driving trucks when he could have been practicing law because he was keeping us safe. He gave up everything, his career, his identity, his whole life for our family. And he left me the means to choose my own path, not to hide, not to run, but to build. I think about him every day, about the sacrifices he made, about the man he was before I knew him, and the man he chose to become. And I hope wherever he is, he knows I'm using his gift exactly the way he would have wanted. Not just to survive, but to help other people survive too. That's the real ending to this story. Not the money or the divorce or even the truth about witness protection. It's about taking the worst moment of your life and deciding it won't define you. It's about choosing to build instead of break. And it's about honoring the people who loved you enough to sacrifice everything, even their own truth, so you could be free to discover yours. My dad was a truck driver named Thomas Richardson, but he was also Thomas Bellamy, the lawyer who stood up to the mob, and he was my father, the man who taught me to be brave, even when I'm scared. All of those things are true. And now, I'm Sarah Richardson Mitchell, the woman who turned her life's biggest disaster into her greatest purpose. That's my story. And honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. So yeah, that's what happened after my husband kicked me out and I used my father's old card. The bank panicked, the FBI got involved, and I found out my entire life was built on secrets I never knew existed. But you know what? Those secrets set me free. Thanks for listening to my story. And if you're going through something impossibly right now, if someone just kicked you to the curb or your life just fell apart, I want you to know you're stronger than you think. The worst thing that ever happens to you might just be the thing that saves you. It was for me.